Hi, Kathy here at Gold Learning Center. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm making this video today because I really wanted to share something that has become a really important part of my daily contemplative practice, and that is journaling. So I know that a lot of people are really avid journalers, and then there are some of us that are maybe laggers. We haven't really, embraced the whole idea. We don't necessarily think that it would be very helpful. Sometimes we just don't like the idea of staring at a blank piece of paper. So I wanted to make this video to kind of talk about the importance of journaling and what I have seen as some really interesting ways that we can go about incorporating journaling into our daily practices. So one of the things I think is important is to recognize that, and there is an often quoted concept about this: watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So I have found journaling to be an extremely helpful way of helping me to observe my thoughts. So here's what I mean by that. So I like to think about journaling as a way to help me organize my thoughts. So there's something kind of really magical about getting all of the swirling things going on in my head down on paper. And then from a perspective of an observer, I can look at what I've written and I can discern what is helpful and what is unhelpful in my thinking patterns. So I know who I'm trying to be and I know where I'm trying to go, and I can now take a look at the kinds of thought patterns that might be getting in my way or conversely might be supporting me. So from there, I can make some decisions about the words that I'm choosing, the thoughts that I'm choosing, and how I can best support myself. So, of course, not surprisingly, this practice, like any other practice that helps us by refocusing our minds, takes practice and repetition. And I'm going to tell you, it takes a lot of it. Okay. So there are dozens and dozens of ways to journal, and I'm really having a hard time thinking, even for those of us who are really not interested or not thinking that journaling could be an important part of your contemplative practice. I'm having a really hard time thinking that there isn't even a small practice that wouldn't be helpful. So what I wanted to do in this video is to share three of my personal favorites. Okay. So the first one is called a mind dump. And this is a timed practice. It is a great practice for those times when we are feeling really overwhelmed or unfocused or both. And I tend to use this once a week just to kind of clear the deck, so to speak. So here's how you do it. It's a 6-minute practice. And so you set a timer and just start writing. So we don't worry about grammar, spelling, punctuation. We just get it all out and we write as fast as we can, whatever comes into your head. So literally, you might start the mind dump out with, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever tried. That could be where you start. And that's fine. If that's what's in your head, then get it out on paper. So then after 6 minutes of writing as fast as you can, put your pen down, take a breath or two, and then go back and take a look at what you've written. The idea here is to see if there's anything valuable there. And I will tell you that many, many times after I've done a mind dump, there is absolutely nothing on that sheet of paper that's of any value. It's just random stream of consciousness, unconnected, unfocused thinking, right? Just thoughts coming and going, right? So once I've decided if there's anything valuable there or not, and if there is something there, because there might be a concept, a thought, something that you need to do that you keep putting off or forgetting about. So whatever those things are, circle or underline them, and then on a clean sheet of paper, write those things down. Okay, write those things down. So the rest is just garbage. And what do we do with garbage? We get rid of garbage. If it's not useful and if it's not valuable, we get rid of it. So I like to do kind of actually a kind of a ritualistic destruction. So whatever you choose to do, shred it, burn it, flush it down the toilet, whatever. but just get rid of it because it's not valuable, right? So we've gotten all of this garbage out, and we're just now going to, kind of ritualistically get rid of it. The rest of it, this valuable stuff, do something with it. Okay. So this action-oriented drive that we all have to actually act on things that are important and getting us where it is we're trying to go, but we have to have action steps associated with them. So what can you do? What can you do? Even if it's just to make a list, and then actually do it, actually act on what it is that will actually help move you toward where it is you're trying to go. Okay. All right, so that's the 6-minute mind dump practice. And like I mentioned earlier, this is something that I do once a week just to kind of clear the decks. All right, the next practice is reflective journaling. I use this one at the end of my day. And this does not have to be a huge, long practice, but it is a safe place to look back over your day. So it helps me make sense of events. It also, and I think most importantly for me, helps me understand where I was kind of on for the day, what I did that's in keeping with who I'm trying to be and where I'm trying to go, and where I was kind of off, where things maybe didn't go as well as I wanted them to. So this is, of course, not a self-critical or judgmental practice. This is just really looking at how did I do today, and are there places that I can make course corrections? What did I learn in my process of my actions and my thoughts and my behavior patterns for the day? So that's the idea here, is to just look back on knowing where I'm trying to go, knowing who I'm trying to be and what I'm trying to accomplish. How'd I do? And then recognizing that I can learn from a lot. I can learn a lot from how things went today, both when I did really well and celebrate my win there, and then also how can I do better tomorrow? Okay. So that's, again, a practice that I do at the end of the day. And honestly, it doesn't take very long. You can get this done in 4 or 5 minutes once you get pretty practiced at it. Okay. And then the third thing I love is the letter from the future wiser self. So there are lots and lots of versions of writing what's referred to as the unsent letter. This is my favorite one. So I like this one a lot because it really helps me stay tuned in touch with my intuition. So the process here is to relax. So take a few breaths and kind of get settled and get out of your thinking mind and into a more meditative state. The idea is then to, from that place, imagine yourself in the future having accomplished and achieved whatever it is you're working on accomplishing or achieving. It could be who you are, doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, whatever goals you have set for yourself, imagine that you're there and you're in this space, and allow yourself to really settle into that and really feel what it feels like to actually be there. So from that space, from this space of the future, and may I say wiser self, we're going to write the present day self, or where we are right here, right now, a letter. And it's just really about what you know from that place. So it would be like getting a letter from a mentor or a teacher. Okay. This is a great practice. I think I do this every week or two just to kind of keep myself on track. You can do it obviously more often than that if you feel like you're really, really struggling or feeling anxious about where you are. And if you're feeling like you just really haven't gotten very much traction. Okay. All right. So those are 3 ideas to get you started with journaling. I would love to hear from you if you have any other thoughts, if you have found any of this helpful, useful. I would love to hear from you. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is Kathy@redwillowlearning.org. Thanks a lot.